You could have self-awareness, peace of mind, emotional well-being, pain-free mobility, perfect posture, maximum oxygenation, health, nutrition that is right for you, prevention and reversal of chronic and neurodegenerative diseases, and achieve real and deep cellular rejuvenation. Do not be inclined to believe that it is a mystical sect, because in reality it is a series of disciplines with an absolutely scientific basis, united in a final product that has the possibility of changing any aspect of your life for the better. The corresponding tests and tests are carried out to adapt the practices to individual needs. It is the human project of the Quain method. It is living how we want to live.
The Alzheimer's pandemic, a growing crisis. We must address Alzheimer's disease is no longer a distant concern confined to old age. It has become a health crisis that affects people in ways we could not have imagined just a few decades ago. The statistics are startling, but they reflect a reality that we must face if we want to change the course of this growing pandemic. The magnitude of Alzheimer's. Currently, 45 million Americans alive today are projected to die from Alzheimer's disease. This figure represents an enormous portion of the population, highlighting the scale of the issue at hand. Alzheimer's is no longer an isolated or rare condition, but a major public health threat that affects millions of individuals and their families. In the United Kingdom, Alzheimer's has now become the second leading cause of death, overtaking many other diseases that used to be more prevalent. This shift is alarming and speaks to the broader global impact of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. If this trend continues, the number of people affected will only increase, placing an even greater strain on healthcare systems worldwide. Financially, the burden is overwhelming. On average, an individual in the United States will spend $350,000 over the course of their life battling Alzheimer's, factoring in medical expenses, long-term care, and necessary treatments. This is a figure that many families cannot bear, adding financial devastation to the emotional toll of the disease. With the knowledge we now have, it is clear that Alzheimer's should not be seen as an inevitable outcome of aging. Research increasingly shows that many cases are preventable through lifestyle adjustments. Alzheimer's is a disease of modern living, and with the right changes, the risk can be significantly reduced. The shocking rise of early-onset Alzheimer's. Perhaps one of the most unsettling trends we are seeing today is the rise of early-onset Alzheimer's. No longer is this a disease that only affects the elderly. It is becoming increasingly common to find individuals in their late 20s and early 30s showing the early signs of Alzheimer's. This is a massive shift from what we previously understood about the disease. The fact that Alzheimer's can manifest so early points to serious problems in the way we live today. Our environment, diet, and daily habits are likely contributing factors that are accelerating the onset of neurodegenerative diseases. It's important to recognize that early-onset Alzheimer's progresses much more aggressively in younger people than it does in older populations. The symptoms can be subtle at first: mild memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and occasional disorientation, but they quickly escalate. By the time the disease is diagnosed, it is often already well advanced, and the options for slowing its progression become limited. The role of modern lifestyles in Alzheimer's. The surge in Alzheimer's cases is not occurring by chance. Many of the factors contributing to the development of the disease can be traced directly to modern living. Diet. The way we eat today plays a critical role in brain health. Diets that are rich in processed foods, high in sugar, and filled with unhealthy fats are detrimental to the brain. These foods lead to inflammation and insulin resistance, both of which are strongly linked to the development of Alzheimer's. A nutrient-poor diet deprives the brain of the essential vitamins and minerals it needs to function properly, accelerating cognitive decline. The hydration with Celtic salt mineralized water is a must. Chronic stress. Stress has become a part of daily life for most people, and while short-term stress is manageable, chronic stress is damaging to the brain. High levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, can kill brain cells and shrink the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Over time, this leads to cognitive impairment and increases the risk of developing Alzheimer's. Inadequate movement and poor posture, as well as breathing, leads to big-time stress. Lack of sleep. Quality sleep is essential for brain health. During deep sleep, the brain clears out toxins that accumulate throughout the day, including beta amyloid, the protein associated with Alzheimer's. When sleep is disrupted or insufficient, these toxins remain in the brain, causing damage and contributing to the development of neurodegenerative diseases. Toxic exposure. Our environment is filled with harmful chemicals and toxins that we are exposed to every day. Pesticides, pollutants, and chemicals in plastics and personal care products can accumulate in the body, leading to inflammation and oxidative stress. This damages cells, including brain cells, and accelerates the onset of diseases like Alzheimer's. Protecting yourself against Alzheimer's. While these risk factors are daunting, there is hope. Alzheimer's is not a guaranteed part of aging, and many lifestyle changes can help reduce the risk of developing the disease. Adopt a brain-healthy diet. A diet that is rich in whole, unprocessed foods can significantly reduce the risk of Alzheimer's. Incorporating more vegetables, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats like omega-3 fatty acids from fish and flaxseed can help nourish the brain. Reducing sugar and refined carbohydrates will also lower the risk of insulin resistance, a major contributor to Alzheimer's. It is important to be tested 3 to 4 times a year for possible insulin resistance problem. Exercise regularly. Physical activity is one of the best ways to protect your brain. Regular exercise increases blood flow to the brain, promotes the growth of new brain cells, and reduces inflammation. Even simple activities like walking can make a big difference in long-term brain health, though it is important to learn how to walk. Manage stress. Reducing stress is crucial for protecting the brain. Mindfulness practices, properly done breathing exercises, and other practices taught in the book Perception and Madness can all help lower cortisol levels and protect against the damaging effects of chronic stress. Taking time to relax and unwind is not just good for mental health. It's essential for cognitive health as well. Prioritize sleep. Getting enough quality sleep is vital for keeping the brain healthy. Aim for 7-9 hours of sleep each night and try to maintain a regular sleep schedule. Avoid light. Acquiring and using a device to monitor your sleep may definitely be a good idea. Detoxify your environment. Reducing your exposure to harmful toxins can also help protect your brain. Choose organic foods when possible, avoid plastic containers, and opt for natural personal care products. Every small step towards can have a significant impact on long-term brain health. The path forward. Preventing Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a pandemic that is only getting worse. Millions of people, young and old, are at risk of developing this devastating disease. When referring to young people, we are talking of 25 years old and over. But while the future may seem bleak, there is still time to act. By making changes today, focusing on prevention, improving lifestyle habits, and raising awareness, we can change the course of this disease for ourselves and for future generations. This is not a fight we can afford to lose. Alzheimer's doesn't just affect those diagnosed. It impacts families, communities, and society as a whole. Now more than ever, We must take steps to prevent this disease from claiming more lives.
Contact to learn more about the program and choose where you want to start.